Ohio will try to defend the Frank. We've got a sold-out Peden Stadium here in Athens, Ohio, and guess what? A Big 12 team is in town. It's the first meeting between West Virginia and Ohio since 2001, and this crowd is ready to see some football. It's going to be rocking here in Athens today. Let's go. We're pumped to be on the call. Courtney Lau alongside former UMass running back Rini Ngolia. And this should be a close game. What's going to make this game so competitive?
Well, Brian Smith gets promoted. The head coach, Tim Elbin, left and went to Charlotte. Kept a lot of his assistant coaches. So the system stays the same, offense and defense. And, oh, by the way, they got a really good quarterback in Parker Navarro. And for West Virginia, Rich Rod takes over again. 81 new players, 66 of them played last week, so they're still learning, figuring stuff out. So should be a good ball game. Well,
you mentioned that quarterback. Let's talk about Parker Navarro. He is the MAC Offensive Player of the Week. This is a guy who threw for over 2,000 yards last year, rushed for over 1,000.
Yeah. What a luxury for Brian Smith. 4 years in the program for Parker Navarro. Was responsible for 4 touchdowns last week against Rutgers, a game they could have easily won. The big thing about Parker Navarro, he make all the throws, but when plays break down, he can make plays with his feet. West Virginia has to keep him in the pocket today. If not, he will hurt them. Yeah,
and so nice that he's able to stay as his offensive coordinator from last year, becomes the head coach. Yep. A comfortable situation for him. On the other side, it's a West Virginia team who also has a new coach, but not new to the program. Rich Rodriguez returns as the head coach. He's actually now tied for second among West Virginia former coaches in all-time wins.
Yeah, and he's back home, right? His alma mater. He was really successful there before, and told us every stop he went to, he learned more about himself. So it always humbles you a little bit in a good way. He's back there. He's in the right spot, and the West Virginia fans are excited.
Yeah, it's been about 18 years since he was the West Virginia head coach from 2001 to 2007. He left West Virginia to take the Michigan job and made some different stops along the way. Most recently, he was at Jacksonville State.
And very successful at Jacksonville State. And again, we had a great conversation with him. He just seems at ease now. Yeah, 81 new players. He's got to get up to speed, but boy, he's really back at home and he's happy.
And we caught up with Rich Rod pregame. Coach, we've heard your message this week to your team. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. How does that apply to this game?
Well, certainly it's going to be a great crowd. I know they're going to be into it. It's going to be a little hostile environment. You know, we have a little bit of weather. And we're on the road for the first time with this new team. So we got to keep our poise, keep playing hard, know there's going to be good and bad happening early in the game, and see what happens.
Coach, as the play caller, what are some challenges this Ohio defense presents to you?
Well, they're very aggressive. They're very athletic. They run the ball. They play really, really hard. And we're not really sure what they're going to do, really. I mean, it's the second game of the year. We have some idea. They have some idea what we're going to do. But it's a completely different team on their side, a new team on our side. We got a lot of respect for them. The biggest thing for us is to not panic, execute what we can, recognize what they're doing to us, and try to adjust.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Well, just like Rich Rod is the play caller, Brian Smith is also the play caller for this Ohio team.
Yeah, so interesting, and it's the first time for Brian Smith. Coach Rich Rod has done it, and for West Virginia, fast, and faster. They want to go offensively. So for Ohio defensively, you got to be lined up quick.
It was a nice fit for Brian Smith to be elevated from that offensive coordinator position to now the head coach.
Yeah, and they got some players back on this roster that were here previously and left, and we asked them, players think the grass is always greener on the other side. He said the grass is always greener where they water it. I love that line from Brian Smith. The right man to get promoted for this job. I really love what he's going to do here at Ohio.
Yeah, an Ohio team that had a lot of success last year. Remember, this program won 11 games for the first time last year. Well, what's at stake in this game? Really interesting matchup. A Big 12 team coming to Athens, Ohio. This is the first time that these two teams have met since 2001. West Virginia is looking for its first ever win in Athens. Ohio hasn't beaten West Virginia since 1949. They will try to change that today on their home field.
And Morgantown only about 2.5 hours away on bus, so they busted here today, and a lot of West Virginia fans made the trip as well.
I got a sold-out crowd as Ohio tries to defend the Frank. West Virginia won the coin toss. They elect to defer, so they'll get the ball to start the second half, and Ohio will receive the kickoff. a game that we had circled. This is supposed to be a really close game. West Virginia started the week a 3.5-point favorite.
Well, and a lot of people were worried for West Virginia. Hey, this is going to be a trap game. You got Pitt next week, the backyard brawl. No, it's not. They know how good Ohio is. Defending MAC champions. You talked about 11 wins last season. This is a really good program in Ohio, and the West Virginia players know that.
So Ethan Head, the Tulane transfer, is getting set to kick off for West Virginia. Amon Dennis is back for Ohio. A little Big 12, a little MAC, a little head-to-head on this Week 2 college football Saturday. And Ohio will let this one bounce in the end zone for a touchback. Well, we mentioned all the stability. Even though they have a new head coach, not new to the program, they also have that returning quarterback in Parker Navarro, one of the captains, and he knows what success looks like because he was a part of last season's great success.
Yeah, dual threat, as we talked about. He was the MAC championship game offensive player of the game, Cure Bowl MVP last year, and just really experienced, and that's a luxury to have.
Somebody who makes defensive coordinators nervous. C.A. Bangura will get the ball on the first play of the game for Ohio, and he falls forward, picks up 3 on the play.
And Bangura is one of those guys that left, was here at Ohio, went to Minnesota, came back, and, you know, it's like he never left. He fit right in. Good, tough runner, great speed. He's going to be the get the lion's share of the carries today at running back.
This Ohio team coming off a close loss to Rutgers last week, and Coach Brian Smith told us the feeling in the locker room was, you know, they weren't pleased, obviously, but they felt like they had chances. They saw the potential in themselves. Only lost by 3. Navarro with time to throw it out and finds one of his tight ends, Mason Williams, for the catch right back to the yard of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Yeah, really nice coverage in the secondary by West Virginia. And Fred Perry, number 5, the nickel, was at Jacksonville State last year with Rich Rodriguez and Zach Ellie, defensive coordinator the year before that. Very productive from that nickel spot. He'll come up, he will hit you. 110 tackles last year at Jack State.
He's got that speed, and now 3rd down for the first time today for Ohio. Bobcats taking their time. Navarro's got to move. And West Virginia was ready. That's usually an X factor for him. He can escape a lot of situations.
Well, Ashton Woods, 33, gets to him, but he avoids him, does Navarro. He steps up in the pocket, but you see that defense. Keep him right in there. Now, don't let him get outside. And Chase Wilson gets there to clean it up to make the tackle. So a really good defensive start for West Virginia. With, oh, by the way, had one of the worst defenses in all of the nation last year.
Yeah, trying to clean that up with Zach Alley, who is the new defensive coordinator, came over from Oklahoma. So Magnus Haynes with the punt. West Virginia is going to let this thing bounce. Preston Fox will let it go. And so we'll get to see the Mountaineers on offense. You know, they had a quarterback battle, and Nico Marchiol was the one that won that. But they've got, besides Marchiol, the top 2 weapons they're looking to use, Jaheim White in the backfield, and then you've got to circle number 4, Cam Vaughn.
Yep, Cam Vaughn was at Jacksonville State as well with Coach Rodriguez. Comes over, 7 receptions, 126 yards last week, but he's just a big-time target on the outside.
And that's kind of the big 3 for this West Virginia team. Jaheim White getting the call. I mean, you already see a little burst of speed. Just like that, they got a first down.
Yeah, the quickness. That's how you press a hole, Jaheim White, right there. Inside handoff, press now, go. Shows you that burst. I mean, he's an experienced back, too. 45 yards rushing last year and 7 TDs.
Had a couple of rushing touchdowns last week against Robert Morris. And a good adjustment by Ohio's defense. The second carry he gets, and in comes Honest Lukeman.
Yeah, Lukeman, they like him 15 from the edge. They do a good job, does Ohio, that time getting off blocks, but you got to get lined up because here we go.
Marchiol looking to throw for the first time. Got some pressure. Pocket collapsing all around him. He's scrambling. picks up 2 on the play. West Virginia facing 3rd down.
Yeah, and so Markio doesn't quite have the speed like Parker Navarro on the other side when you get loose, but he does a good job, doesn't throw it up and just gains what he can. But 3rd and long, it's a good position here for the Ohio defense to try to get the ball back.
Markio looking up top and overthrows Jaden Bray, who was all covered up. Adonis Williams, one of the captains, in coverage.
Yeah, I like what defensive coordinator John Hauser did. He simulated blitz. It showed like he was going to blitz. Then he dropped 8, only rushed 3. Good coverage on the back end. It's going to force a punt here. A little chess match early, and both defenses have won early.
Now Oliver Straw on to punt for West Virginia. And back for this Ohio team, Max Rodarte. A booming punt from Oliver Straw. Rodarte fields it at the 2. And the Mountaineers all over him. 55 yards. Second offensive possession coming up for Ohio when we come back to Athens. We want to take you back to that last play on the punt because surprising that Max Rodarte fielded this.
And they had a few issues with special teams last week against Rutgers. You cannot catch this ball inside the 5 like that. If the punter does a good job and he angles it out and it goes out at the 1 or 2, so be it. You got to let that go, and hopefully it goes into the end zone. We'll see. They're backed up here.
So second offensive possession for Ohio. They went 3 and out the first time. Parker Navarro back working in the pistol this time. 3 options on the near side. C.A. Bangura behind him. Mason Williams, the tight end, in motion. They go Bangura. He falls forward, picks up about 4 on the play.
And I said this before, when I used to play back in the day at UMass, when you're backed up like this, your first goal is just get yourself some breather room, get at least 1 first down. So it becomes a field position game. So if you do have to punt again, man, get some room for your punter. But you got to get that 1 first down first and foremost.
Well, whereas West Virginia wants to play with tempo, Ohio is okay taking their time. They also can throw some tempo in if they need to. Pass incomplete, and Navarro was looking for Chase Hendricks, who, my goodness, they moved him to the slot, and he has become a big weapon.
Yeah, hard worker, number 7, Chase Hendricks. They really like him. But good coverage once again for West Virginia. And, you know, talking to Brian Smith, the head coach, we've said it a few times already, he calls the plays as well. He did say he would change up tempo, but right now they're taking their time.
Ohio looking for its first down of the game. And Navarro making an adjustment. Rodarte has the catch. And that should be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, great call by Brian Smith. They go tunnel screen to Rodarte, right? It's a high percentage play. It's not a tough pass. Look at the lineman get out. Good blocking. Hendricks out there blocking as well. Rodarte can fight just enough to get that first down to keep this drive alive.
The first one of the game for the Bobcats. Navarro gonna move. Remember, this is an X factor for him. He's a mobile guy, rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, and it's really close to the mark.
Yeah, defensive coordinator for West Virginia, Zach Alley, told us, my guys heard a million times this week, keep him in the pocket. But that time he's in the pocket, he just steps up in it and takes off for a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, it's a 9-yard game. They need 1 more yard to move the chains. Bangura got it. Falling forward to the 29.
You know, he's matured as a running back. One of the things he wanted to work on this season was making people miss. And you see, just ever so slightly in the hole, he makes the guy miss, able to square those shoulders back on a nice run to pick up the first down.
And Rena, you mentioned it, one of 3 guys that transferred away from Ohio and now are back this season. And they could tell from day one his experience at Minnesota, just a different program. Yep. He's a different guy now.
Yeah, and more experience for sure. Going to be a big part of this offense this season.
Back-to-back Bangura. Gets a push too. They'll give him the 32-yard line.
Right behind 59, Nick Marinero, the new center. from Dartmouth. Had a few issues with some snaps last week. They definitely worked on that, cleaned it up. And Davion Witherspoon, 51, the left guard, that's a captain and a leader of that offensive line as well.
They spread it out here for Navarro on second down. He's going to tuck and run, steps out around the 40-yard line, right at the marker. It's a first down, Ohio.
And that time Navarro read it quickly. Saw the pass coverage and knew, okay, I'm going to tuck it immediately and go. And that's the damage he can do with his feet. I mean, we talked about it in the open. You have to keep him surrounded. Right here, he gets out of the pocket, right? So that's contained. 96 has to, Vesserin needs to try to contain him in there. He doesn't do it, and he'll hurt you with his feet.
Started his career at UCF before transferring to Ohio.
Did it the normal way, right? Transferred once early and then stayed.
Yeah. Duncan Brune is the running back now out of Germany. And they like this 1-2 punch in the backfield of Bangura and Brune.
Yeah, Brune's like I call him the German hammer. 218, squares his shoulders nicely, likes the contact.
Super intelligent guy, too. They're both physical runners.
Yeah, I mean, Brune played as a true freshman last year, and the coaches told us we want to get him more carries today.
And last week against Rutgers, 6 carries for 22 yards. We'll see what his workload is today. A second down at their own 45. Brune right up the middle, hits the hole hard. They'll give him progress to the 47-yard line before Fred Perry got there.
We talked about Fred Perry earlier. He's 5'11", 206. He'll come up and hit you, but you saw Brune, good shoulder lean there, picked up what he could, but it's a manageable 3rd and 5 here for Ohio.
And when recruiting Duncan Brune, they told us they had a contact they trusted who had seen him play in Germany. He averaged 200 yards a game.
Not bad, huh? Pretty good.
Ohio 1 for 2 on 3rd down. Navarro pounding his way forward. He'll be 2 yards short of the line to gain.
First big call for Brian Smith here. So they go +1 with the quarterback run. Brune goes through first. Navarro keeps it kind of like a quarterback power, and they're at that part of the field where it's like, I'm not punting it here. We're going to go for it, 4th and 2.
Yeah, we asked Brian Smith, how do you make your decisions on 4th down? He said, yes, we use analytics, but not 100% of the time. He's got a heads up going into the drive of where it would be beneficial, what they should kind of target, but it's also a feel thing.
Yeah.
They go for it for the first time today on 4th down. Bangura back in the backfield behind Navarro. They'll send Chase Hendricks in motion.
And they'll be punting it now.
Yep.
Ball start.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So Magnus Haynes will come on, and that was, a lot of momentum there for Ohio. Good-looking drive they had put together to get to midfield.
Yep, you would have loved to seen them get a shot at it on 4th down, but false start. Going to force them to punt here.
Preston Fox back for West Virginia. Calls for the fair catch. And hey, a big opportunity here for West Virginia. They get the stop back on offense for the 2nd time when we come back.
ESPN College Football is brought to you by McDonald's.
Athens, Ohio, the site of this battle between the MAC and the Big 12. West Virginia in town. They're getting set to go back on offense. And Rich Rodriguez told us one of the biggest challenge he's ever faced as a head coach has been this year. 81 new players, Rini.
Yeah, and then, he reunited with Zach Alley, who was at Oklahoma last year as defensive coordinator. So 81 new players. Got to learn his offense, which is, pretty fast, and then a new defense. So he said every day they're learning. They keep getting better.
Nico Marchiol back on offense, the quarterback who won the job in camp. Jaheim White to his right. They put Rodney Gallagher in motion, spins out of a tackle. Got the first down and more. First play of the drive.
Yeah, nice run, good explosion by Gallagher. You know, looks like Jack Freese is going to make a tackle for a loss. Doesn't do it. The helmet comes off, so Gallagher's got to come out for a play, but nice explosive run to the boundary that time.
A 16-yard pickup for Gallagher, who played a little wide receiver, played a little DB last year. Jaheim White, one of their big three. He is rolled down by Michael Mack.
And Mack's a returning player. Solid, regimented, fundamentally sound.
They'll throw it to Jaheim White, coming out of the backfield. Dropped at about the 30, just over the 30-yard line. And we're starting to see West Virginia play a little bit faster than we did on their first drive.
I mean, they're going. They want to go. Now, here's the thing now. It's advantage Ohio defensively. We're 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Sometimes when you go too quick, it can hurt you.
Marco's got to go. Steps up in the pocket, tucks it. And that should be enough for the first down.
And that's experience and situational awareness. Nico Marchiol knew exactly where the first down marker was. It was the 37-yard line. He dives forward. He doesn't slide, which is very important, and he gets the first down. Good job.
A player that has been at West Virginia since January of 2022. First time winning the starting job in camp. Tossing it over the top. Cam Vaughn grabs that football. And look at West Virginia leaping into Ohio territory.
Cam Vaughn, extremely strong hands and long arms. Watch him go back and reach for this ball. Catches it with his hands, sucks it in, so the DB can't knock it down. He's a big-time playmaker, as Cam Vaughn.
An explosive play, a 31-yard pickup for the transfer from Jacksonville State. Coming with Rich Rodriguez. Jaheim White. A monster hole. And Jaheim White has found the end zone. West Virginia on the scoreboard.
Good blocking on the left side as White hits it. 5, Adonis Williams, the captain, had a chance to make a tackle. When you miss it on a guy like Jaheim White and you let him get into the second level, it's lights out. Brings it to the end zone.
West Virginia used those last 2 plays to go 63 yards in those 2 plays, just like that.
Fast, fast, fast. Good mixture there. Good blocking on the left side, Jaheim White, and good ball security. Not going to fumble this week. Keeps it in across the goal line. West Virginia leads it early, 7-0 in half.
Trot and this West Virginia offense just used back-to-back explosive plays to find the end zone and take a 7-0 lead on the road at Ohio. And now it's the Bobcats' turn to respond. Iman Dennis is back for the Bobcats. Fields it inside the 5. And they'll take it to the 20. Well, ABC Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. It is number 15 Michigan at number 18 Oklahoma tonight, 7:30 on ABC and the all-new ESPN app. Rainey, what do you think about that game? Who you got?
I like Oklahoma because I think John Mateer is really good. Ben Arbuckle is offensive coordinators with him as well. But, you know, Bryce Underwood, the true freshman from Michigan, it's pretty good. But that should be a great game tonight.
Now, the atmosphere looked awesome on College Game Day this morning in Norman. They usually turn out well.
Yeah.
Well, Parker Navarro and this Ohio offense had a nice run going, but on 4th down, a false start penalty kept them from going for it at midfield. That killed the drive.
Yep. And you got to feel like, you know, playing a team like West Virginia with the tempo they go at, you got to score some points, right? You got to finish drives off with points. We'll see if Ohio can get it going here late in the first.
Now, last week, Ohio found themselves down in a hole. They trailed by 17, eventually lost to Rutgers by only 3. Only gave up 3 points in the second half.
Defense played outstanding in the second half last week.
A team that won 11 games last year. Navarro lets it fly, and Ian Pugh was the intended target. Ashton Woods putting some pressure on. There's a flag in the backfield.
And you heard the boo bugs. Actually, that's the West Virginia fans here thinking it's going to be on West Virginia, and it is.
Roughing the passer, number 33. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Ashton Woods. He had to get him high, and it's just they're going to protect quarterbacks. It's just you saw him kind of swing that hand a little high, and they're going to call that. And, it's Michael Vandervelde, Big 12 crew today. You just got to, if you're Ashton Woods, you just got to lower your target. Because you weren't late, you were just high.
That's a big pickup for Ohio. They're now at their own 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Off play action, Navarro slinging it up, looking for Hendricks. 3 guys around Chase Hendricks, didn't matter. Inside just short of the 20.
And the thing I love here, Parker Navarro takes a big hit. He stands in the pocket. He knows he's going to get hit. He puts air under it and gives Chase Hendricks a chance to run under. And what concentration by Hendricks to bring that in.
A 38-yard pickup. An explosive play for Ohio. Navarro keeping his eyes downfield, still directing traffic on the move. And the pass incomplete, looking for Caleb Gossett.
And 15, Ben Cutter, one of the Will linebackers. That's the one thing Zach Alley, he's going to use 4 or 5 linebackers today. And they know you cannot let Parker Navarro get outside the pocket. And 15 ran hard to force that throw, not letting Navarro turn and run the ball. And they break it up. Good job on the back end there by the defense. Tarnu.
Second and 10, just inside the West Virginia 25.
Play a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It's really interesting how they use the coach-to-player communication for Ohio. Brian Smith, the head coach, is the play caller, but they will signal plays in. So Parker Navarro walks to the line with 2 to 3 plays.
Yeah, and Scott Isfording, the offensive coordinator, it's up in the box. He actually talks to Parker Navarro on the player to coach. Brian Smith doesn't, so it's kind of like a 3-way communication. Very interesting.
Scott Isfording, the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, his 13th overall season at Ohio. And Navarro thought about throwing it and lets the ball fly as he's taken down to the ground, incomplete.
And that's a true RPO. I'll be curious if his knee was down before he threw the ball. Replay could step in here. We'll get a look at it here. I think he did get it off before anything hit the ground. Before Boggle 32 got to him. Oh, that's close on that replay right there.
He thought about pitching it. He leaped up in the air to toss it to Jake Bruno, the tight end, but then held back. So 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Ohio 1 for 3 on 3rd down.
And they did mark him down, so that's why replay's not looking at it. They did call it a sack.
Navarro to Hendricks. Makes one guy miss, spins around at the 20-yard line. Still needs about 7 more yards.
Well, and you're in a comfortable area now to at least get 3. Nice little pickup, making a much comfortable field goal attempt here. So I like this decision here. Go for the 3. Got to get some momentum, some positive points here.
So Brack Peacock is actually the kicker out there. And it's up and in. It had been David Dellenbach, the transfer from UCLA, but Brack Peacock is the one that kicks that field goal.
Little curve ball. They didn't tell us that in production meeting, so.
A 37-yarder.
And again, just important for them, right? Obviously, you want a touchdown, but come away, you're moving the ball nicely. Had some big plays there, get points.
All right, so last time West Virginia was on offense, they put together a solid drive, ending with 2 explosive plays back-to-back.
Well, Gallagher gets us started with a nice run to the boundary, and then Markiel gets it out to Jaheim White, and then White finishes it off with the touchdown run. So, you know, they go super fast, but they're not really one-dimensional in what they do offensively. They'll run it to the sideline, they'll run it inside zone, they'll stretch the field to Cam Vaughn. They'll RPO it. They'll really keep a defense on their heels with this Rich Rod offense.
So we'll see if they can continue that momentum. Ohio able to get the field goal. 7-3 here in the first quarter. First meeting between these two since 2001. Preston Fox on the move. Ooh, takes a hard hit, flips up into the air. Duncan Broom. Well, last week for West Virginia's offense, controlling the football and taking care of the football was a problem.
Yeah, 3 fumbles in 4 plays in the first half, and that's just a nightmare for an offense, especially an offense that wants to go fast like West Virginia. So they worked on a lot of ball security. The one thing it did was they ended up 4 fumbles altogether. They couldn't really get the lead they wanted to against Robert Morris because Coach Rodriguez said, I wanted to play a lot more guys, more reps. Didn't have an opportunity to do that because of those fumbles.
See if Nico Markiel and his offense can capitalize on that last momentum they built. Jaden Bray makes the catch. He also said because of that, he realized watching film when the ball came loose, he had some guys loafing, is what he said.
Yeah, you got to always run for the ball. Even if you're across the field, you're a wide receiver, what have it, an offensive lineman, come downfield because you never know when the ball's going to be loose on the ground.
Jaheim White, who just ran for a touchdown on the last drive, picks up a yard. I can only imagine how many times ball security was talked about this week.
Yeah, a few.
West Virginia did beat Robert Morris 45-3 last week.
And they don't have to snap this. There's more time on the play clock.
I'll pitch it out to White. Ohio just waiting. Adonis Williams, we've called his name a few times.
2-time captain, leader, fights through a block and makes that tackle for the loss. Tremendous play by Adonis Williams.
A guy that has battled injuries, been a little banged up his entire career, but he never lets the coaching staff know, plays through it, and a big one here for Adonis Williams. First quarter in the books, West Virginia leads it. 7 set to punt. Oliver Straw, last time out, had a 55-yard punt. Max Rodarte is back for Ohio. Start of the second quarter, Courtney Lyle, Rainey, and Golia with you from Athens, Ohio. The first of a 3-game series between West Virginia and Ohio. Ohio will have to go to Morgantown 2 times starting next year.
Yeah, usually it's, 1 and then 2 and then back again, but they did it a little different. They came to Ohio first.
Rodarte is going to let this one bounce, almost hits him.
And he didn't have to pick that up, but there's a thing called rule of first touch. It hit a West Virginia player first, so he could try to pick that up with no danger of him fumbling the ball, even if he actually fumbled it. It's rule of first touch. A lot of people don't know it, so Rodarte was good grabbing it there.
Well, you see Cedric Rhodes right there, number 64, and he's one of 3 guys, Rainey, we talked about it, who transferred away from Ohio and then transferred back. 3 guys.
And he was big because they were talking about, hey, it's kind of a new offensive line. He goes, yeah, but we get Shed Rhodes back, and it's like we get his experience. He's been here before, and he's a starter, so we feel like, we get a veteran player back. So, yeah, again, another player that came back, and it's just back at home.
Manguro also one of those who lined up in the backfield now. Passes complete to Chase Hendricks. Wow, he can make guys miss.
And we talked about it. Putting him in the slot has just been perfect for him. He's tough to handle, hard worker. I love how Navarro looks left, looks everyone off, and knows Hendricks going to be there when he looks back to the right and puts it right on him.
It's a 19-yard pickup. Parker Navarro calling his own number, pulls it to run. dropped at the 35-yard line by Chris Filippo.
Yeah, great zone read there by Navarro. Puts it in the belly of Bangor, but goes, nope, I'm going to read this block here on the left side and keep it for 8.
Such a smart veteran guy at quarterback for Ohio. Can do it all. That is a catch inside the 25-yard line for Ian Pugh. An 11-yard pickup.
Yeah, Darian Lewis, the boundary safety, jumps it. Looks like he's going to break up the pass, but the ball gets through there and gets caught.
Ohio was going quickly. Now they slow things down.
This is a change of pace that Brian Smith said he wants to use. Change the tempo up.
Bangura's turn. Yeah, they had a lot of baseball references when it comes to tempo. He said, look, we got a change up. We can throw that in. We've got a fastball, a cutter, and a change. That's what the terms they use when talking about their tempo.
A big slow curve that takes a while.
Yeah.
There's a lot of baseball analogies for sure.
Well, I think Scott Isfordine, the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, we could have talked about the Reds for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a Pete Rose Cup during our call. I'm a big baseball guy.
Talk about that stability. Scott Isfordine's been here 13 years, so that's what I'm talking about. A lot of experience here.
Navarro by himself on the move. Scrambling, got the first down, spinning inside the 10.
Brian Wilson in Ohio will take that every single day. Navarro in the open field, one-on-one with 30. Chase Wilson, a linebacker, and Navarro's going to win that. And that's just what you just got to try to avoid if you're West Virginia, because right now Navarro is making plays with his feet.
13-yard gain for Ohio, looking for its first touchdown today. West Virginia swarming. Navarro, Fred Perry got there first, and then Eddie Kelly got in on the action.
And that's defensive coordinator Zach Alley, just sick of seeing Parker Navarro making plays with his feet. They're going to send a double blitz at him. Perry comes, so does Chase Wilson, the Mike linebacker, and they're just going to try to get to him. And that's what you got to do. You got to get to him early before you can make a decision what he wants to do, and they did a nice job there defensively.
That's a loss of 6 on the play. Backs them up just inside the 15. I don't know if Navarro was ready for the snap. And remember, it's a new center.
Yeah, Nick Marinero, that happened a couple times last week in the Rutgers game. They were just out of sync that time. You're right, Court. He was not ready for it. And Fred Perry, number 5, Johnny on the spot. He's been all over the place early in this game for West Virginia. So 2 back-to-back negative plays for Ohio.
Yeah, a loss of 6 and now a loss of 9. And remember, we told you how they go to the line with 2 different plays. That puts a lot on the center. He walks up there not knowing what the play is. So 3rd and a mile. Flag comes out. Navarro still moving, connects to Ian Pugh inside the 10.
It's going to be a very interesting call for Rich Rod. We have holding on the offensive line of Ohio. So does he back him up and think maybe I'm knocking him out of field goal range? Or decline and say I'll give him a chip shot field goal? I bet you he takes this penalty and backs him up. I got a hunch, but we'll see. Now there is 2 flags, so there may be 2 different calls here. The head referee in the white hat, Michael Vandervelde, definitely called holding. It's clear as day. We'll see what the center judge called. They sort it out here.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding number 55, offense. That penalty is declined. Holding number 64, offense. That penalty will be enforced 10 yards. Still 3rd down.
So Jordan Jones, both tackles, and Shed Rhodes.
Yep, so he knocks him back here, but now you got to play defense again on 3rd down. But again, it's 3rd and goal to goal. So, I mean, 3rd and 33. Not many.
You got a lot of plays for that?
Yeah, not many. So.
Navarro throwing towards the sideline to Hendricks. He catches it and goes out of bounds at the 21. And there's a scrum around the 35-yard line. A little back and forth shoving between West Virginia and Ohio.
But listen, I'm glad the officials got in there quick.
Yeah, I don't see any flags.
No cheap penalties. Break it up. Listen, it's football, right? It's just there's a lot of pushing and shoving. Offensive lineman, it's right in the middle there of the screen. You saw a little takedown and then another little takedown. But hey, those are big uglies in there, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. But I like the play by Ohio. Pick up a few yards, make this a much closer field goal attempt.
So Brett Peacock, who we saw kick the first field goal and make it. This one from 38. Last week it was David Dellenbach. And it's no good. West Virginia's defense gets a stop. And the Mountaineers keep the 7-3 lead. They've got the ball when we come back.
On NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game right up to kickoff. Get those fantasy lineups set, Court.
You better believe it. Rini and Golia with the promo read. I make him do it once a game. Nico Markiel is back out for West Virginia. They just got a big stop. And Ohio missed a field goal. That pass incomplete, looking for Cam Vaughn.
And that's where like the timing looked a little off. And I just think, obviously Cam Vaughn's one of those new 81 players, although Nico Markiel was there. And especially at quarterback timing, game speed's a lot different than practice.
Markiel looking to throw on the run. Tiptoeing on that far sideline is Jaden Bray. Made 5 appearances last season before a season-ending lower leg injury.
Yeah, dragged that left foot. Nice concentration by Jaden Bray.
And last week he had 3 catches. That was more than all of last season. West Virginia 1 for 3 on 3rd down. Markiel in trouble. Loses 2 on the play. Dukes is there in his face from Ohio's defense.
Yeah, wanted to throw it, nowhere to go. 27, Jack Freeze was there first. Slows him up, and then here comes everybody else inside out and just nowhere to go. And so that's the thing. You go lightning fast like West Virginia is, and you don't get a first down. I mean, you're putting your defense right back on the field, kicking it back to Ohio here.
And Ohio has dominated time of possession. They've had the ball for about 10 more minutes than West Virginia has. So that's a lot of time for West Virginia's defense to be on the field. Oliver Straw with the punt. Rodarte grabs it and then steps out of bounds. So a big moment for this Ohio defense. A close ball game, just 7-3. The Bobcats take the ball on the other side. So by Capital One, it's number 15 Michigan at number 18 Oklahoma tonight at 7:30 on ABC and the all-new ESPN app. And now for our Fansville College football update, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Rini, we had Oklahoma's bowl game.
Yeah.
And John Mateer had already said he was coming. How excited were they in December about this guy?
Oh yeah, they were ready for him. And again, I think he's a better athlete than people think. Definitely dual threat. And the big thing is his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle's with him. We talked about it. And then, you got Bryce Underwood, true freshman, but it's going to be an electric environment today for that true freshman. And then Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for Michigan, he's going to have a few things up his sleeve for John Mateer as well. It's going to be a great one.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one coming up at 7:30 from Norman. We're here in Athens, Ohio. And this Ohio defense just got a nice stop. Parker Navarro, by the way, started 3 for 6. Since then, 5 for 5.
And he's really comfortable with Chase Hendricks. You talk about, familiarity of these two. Played together last year, 40 receptions last year for Hendricks, but no doubt he's wide receiver 1 this year for Ohio.
Spins out of the tackle, Max Rodarte, first down and into West Virginia territory.
The coaches told us they believe Rodarte may be the fastest player on the team. Just a little stop around, a little whoop, little spin, and then get going down that right sideline.
And Rodarte, a guy that transferred in from City College of San Francisco a couple of years ago. And actually, they told us, they were very honest. They said when he arrived, we were a little disappointed. It wasn't...
Progressed really slow.
Yes.
A lot slower than they thought.
About middle of last year, it clicked. And man, are they excited about Rodarte, number 3 in green.
Yeah, he's stepped up ever since then.
We've seen Ohio go fast and also slow, varying the pace. They'll throw it to Duncan Brune. First down, Bobcats.
You know, we couldn't even really give Duncan Brune the love we needed to on that special teams tackle he had earlier in the first quarter. So special teams flying around. He runs the ball, a little safety valve there, and then catches it and then makes the guy miss and gets upfield. A nice pickup for Duncan Brune there.
One of the most interesting guys that I've learned about. His mom was an Olympian. He trains with the German national bobsledding team.
And you got to have strong, powerful legs to bobsled. Herschel Walker did it when he retired. I mean, so.
You ever bobsled?
I have not, but I've seen it.
Brune picks up 2. It's C.A. Bangura and Duncan Brune are the 2 backs that we have seen, and they'll rotate right now as Bangura comes back onto the field for Ohio.
And they like Brune as, you know, more of that downhill runner, off tackle, between the tackles, where Bangura, of course, can make people miss and has really good speed.
And Bangura, preseason All-MAC second-team selection. He gets the carry. Slipped trying to cut back the other way, and third down on the way.
Yeah, it was the right read. I mean, West Virginia was stretching it out, cuts back, but definitely loses his footing. If he didn't lose his footing there, he probably thought he could square those shoulders up and get through there, but he doesn't. A big third down here.
Now, third down has been tough for both teams today. Ohio just 1 for 5. I mean, West Virginia's 1 for 4 on third down. Navarro going, he's got the first down. Still evading tackles. Inside the 10 for Parker Navarro. I mean, West Virginia has preached all week, keep him in the pocket. It is not easy to do.
You know, and how do you prepare for it, right? How do you practice for a player that when a play breaks down, he just does what he does? I mean, he makes 3 or 4 West Virginia guys miss. Gets to the outside, picks up the first down, and it's first and goal. I mean, that's just all athleticism. That's all heart. That is all Parker Navarro.
A 15-yard gain for Navarro. Remember, he was a 1,000-yard rusher at quarterback last season for Ohio. Bangura spinning around, banging around up the middle, dropped at the 4-yard line. Chase Wilson, their green dot for West Virginia, making the tackle.
And Chase, transfer in from Colorado State, had 98 tackles last year at Colorado State, so he can find the football, and he's the most vocal leader, number 30 for West Virginia, that middle linebacker of that defense.
This will be the 9th play of the drive for the Bobcats. Navarro adjusting. It's Mason Williams, the tight end, in motion. He pulls it away from Bangura. And I think he was trying to throw it to Mason Williams, but Fred Perry said, ah.
Yeah, and that was a true RPO, so he could give it to Bangura in the belly. Decides to pull it. He can then run it or throw it. The offensive lineman, as long as they don't drift down past 3 yards, which they didn't, he went to throw it. But as you said, Court, Fred Perry knocks it down. And I like how he ran for it in case the referees called a backwards pass, but it was definitely a forward pass that was then deflected by Fred Perry, but excellent defense by the nickel Perry.
3rd and goal. Ohio's converted on 3rd down twice. They're out of time.
Play a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You know, when you talked about it, Court, they give Parker Navarro 2 or 3 plays right at the line of scrimmage, and sometimes You'll go through your progressions, you'll go through your reads. The defense is changing, which is going to change your play, and that's what happens. Sometimes you just run out of time.
And it's not Brian Smith using that coach to player to talk to Parker Navarro, although he is the head coach and the play caller. It's Scott Isfording up in the booth, and of course it shuts off at 15 seconds. Navarro with pressure in his face. Oh, scary play. There's flags out. A helmet has come off of a West Virginia player. It was Justin Harrington that lost his helmet. We'll see what the penalty is. Flag was thrown in the end zone.
And the back judge is pointing towards West Virginia, so we'll see what the call is here.
Prior to the pass, holding number 14, defense. That penalty will be enforced. After this is to the goal, automatic first down.
That's on Tarnu, one of the Jacksonville State transfers.
Huge penalty because it's a fresh set of downs. Tarnu and Boyce, safeties, they both play about equal time, 50-50 on the reps, but that's a huge holding call on Tarnu. Give Ohio a fresh set of downs here, first and goal.
Ohio missed a 38-yard field goal the last time in the red zone. Now they got a fresh set of downs to find their first touchdown of the game. Hendricks in motion. Bangura is the guy. Avoided a couple of tackles before he was able to take it to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I think 18, Curtis Jones, former linebacker, now plays like a DN bandit position. He came off the ball quick. Got to Bangura in the backfield, slowed him up, but Bangura was able to get through and pick up a couple.
Navarro looking back to the sideline, getting another signal. Saw a hole, tried to dive in, looking for a push. He's going to be short. Just picks up a yard.
But looks back, gets the signal. They go speed option. I like the call. He decides not to pitch to Bangura, keep it. We got a little maul at the goal line, and West Virginia wins that one, keeps him out, but here we go.
First charge time out of the half.
And West Virginia wants to take a timeout. 3rd and goal. Ohio looking for its first touchdown of the game. Zone on this drive. They've gone 70 yards. Parker Navarro has accounted for 61 of those yards.
Yeah. Pretty important piece of the offense, I'd say.
Looking for their first touchdown and their first lead. Chase Hendricks in motion. Bangura leaping into the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio! First lead for the Bobcats.
And I like that call. Listen, give it to your big back, downhill, some motion to keep the linebackers kind of their eyes moving a little bit. Good push on that right side. Trent Allen, 60. Jordan Jones, 55. And then give it to Bangura deep in the eye and let him go get the touchdown. It's an attitude play.
And Brett Peacock, they made a change in kicker before this game. He is on to attempt the PAT. It is up and good. And Bangura has his first touchdown of the season. Again, not surprised by the score, right? A close game. I mean, West Virginia opened the week as a 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah, everyone predicted this to be close. Listen, Ohio's for real. We know that. Defending MAC champs could have easily beaten Rutgers. How about this for Ohio, their first 3 games? So they lost to Rutgers last week. We talked about it by 3. You bring in a Big 12 opponent in West Virginia this week, and then, not that they're looking ahead, but, oh, by the way, about an hour and a half down the road, they play Ohio State next week. So a tough 3-game start for Ohio, but they're thinking about this one right here. They would love to knock off this Big 12 team here at home today. And so they're a good program. They do not fear anyone, do the Bobcats.
Well, West Virginia has gone 3 and out its last 2 drives. David Dellenbach will do the kickoff for Ohio. Preston Fox spun down inside the 32. Flags are out just over the 30-yard line.
You see both the referees that threw the flag, they dropped them the exact same place, which tells you they have the same call.
Holding number 10, return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you, Allstate. How about the crowd that we've got here in Athens today, Rini?
Yeah, anticipating possibly the biggest crowd in the history here, so we'll have to see when we get the second half what that number is. But Coach Rodriguez not happy right now. See if his team can answer here and try to go ahead at halftime, get the momentum back here.
It's just a 2.5-hour bus ride for this West Virginia team from Morgantown to Athens, Ohio. Jaheim White drugged down, flags out.
And you're going to get a horse collar. I mean, Jalen Thomas in 22 did a nice job getting off the block, getting to the tackle, but unfortunately he grabs the horse collar, so instead of a TFL, you're going to get a 15-yard penalty. And is that Jaheim White that's down?
I think it is Jaheim White.
And that's why the horse collar penalty is put in there, because it's very dangerous. And the officials are talking, so we'll see what they come up with. But from first glance from the booth, it looked like a horse collar on Thomason, 22 for Ohio, and he got off the block. And he played it perfectly. Let's take a look at it here.
Yeah, it's Jaheim White.
He fights off.
On the play, personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 22. Defense, that penalty is declined. Personal foul, face mask, number 22. Defense, that penalty is enforced from the previous spot. 15 yards, automatic first down.
So, I mean, you know, if you're going to get one penalty, I mean, two's not going to, they can only accept one. So he clearly horse collar, but he also had his hand on his face mask. And now your attention goes to Jaheim White. You just hope he's okay. I mean, and that's just a dangerous play, yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting up right now. You see the medical staff of West Virginia surrounding him.
And just, you know, you hate to see that. Yeah, hate to see it. And again, that's why that penalty is in there. It's just a dangerous play, the horse collar. And I get it, Thomason, you know, you're just fighting off a block trying to make a tackle. And that's what happens.
Yeah, and you hate to see that for Jaheim White, a guy that was so excited for Rich Rodriguez to come be the coach. He talked about how he had gone back and watched Jacksonville State film. He wanted to see right away, how did they use the running back? What would my role be? He was so fired up. And you hate to see him being helped off the field here. So Nico Marchiol and the West Virginia offense have to go back to work without their lead rusher in the backfield. They tried to throw it to Clay Ash, one of their other young running backs who is a walk-on, but just off his fingertips.
And they just look a little out of sorts offensively, right? That pass by Marchiol, you know, you're just trying to dump it down to a safety valve in Clay Ash, and you can't hook up. So it's a little out of sorts right now.
2nd and 10 at their own 33. Marchiol dumps it out into the flat to Ash. Dives back to the line of scrimmage. No game on the play. Nemo Dukes. And that'll get us to the 2-minute timeout. Ohio has taken the lead here in the second quarter. Just under 2. Well, John Hauser is the associate head coach and defensive coordinator, his third overall season at Ohio. And his defense, they gave up the 2 big plays on the West Virginia scoring drive, but rest of the time they've only allowed West Virginia to average 3 yards per play.
They've been aggressive, and a lot of different guys have stepped up and made plays in this first half.
Third down, West Virginia is 1 for 4 on third down. Nico Marchiol looking for a stretched out Grayson Barnes, and that pass incomplete. He was out of bounds.
And just like that, because West Virginia goes so fast, it's 4th and 10. I mean, you're going to give them the ball back. I mean, you've got to punt this here if you're Rich Rodriguez. And John Hauser defensively did the same thing. He's done it a couple times to Marchiol. He showed blitz. He backed off. He actually only rushed 2. It looked like big Nehemiah Dukes was kind of spying, and he had max coverage in the back end and played it perfectly.
Oliver Straw on to punt. Max Rodarte back for Ohio. Rodarte trying to chase it down, watches it bounce, and it'll bounce out around the 25-yard line. We mentioned that Ohio defense. What have you noticed about the Bobcat defense today?
And we talked about this stability. How about discipline? They know what they're doing. John Hauser, 3rd year here. No real superstars on the defense. That was Adonis Williams, one of their captains. It's a defensive unit where you're going to call multiple names out. Guys know their assignment. They know where they're supposed to be, and they do their job. They read, recognize the play, and they react as a unit.
And so now that defense will get a break as Parker Navarro and Ohio's offense back on the field. Under 2 minutes until the half. Heaving it up into the air, looking for Caleb Gossett. He gets the flag. It was Darian Lewis in coverage. You might be in trouble.
There was a ton of contact on that left sideline.
Pass interference number 24. Defense, 15 yards, penalty, automatic, first down.
And you know, Lewis and his teammates were looking like, hey, offensive interference. He pushed us, but 24, Darian Lewis definitely is contacting the receiver there. You can face guard in college as long as you're not contacting the receiver. He never looked back up for the ball, and he had his hand on the receiver. That is pass interference. It's a good call by the crew.
So now 1:37 on the clock here in the second quarter. Ohio's got 3 timeouts if they need them. Goes right back to Gossett. That was the target he was looking for on the last play.
And now, I mean, you still have 1:32 left. Again, under 2 minutes. Clock stops out of bounds, doesn't start till the snap. If you get a first down in the middle of the play, middle of the field as well, it stops to set the chain. So all kinds of time here for Ohio with all 3 timeouts left as well.
Yeah, an 11-yard pickup. C.A. Bangura lined up behind Navarro. He got his first touchdown of the season on their last drive. Navarro to the air. He's got a wide open Max Rodarte, who got 1 foot down.
And that was a blown coverage from West Virginia because no one picked up Rodarte. He just came off the line of scrimmage. Navarro picked him up immediately. The safety could not get over fast enough. And excellent concentration by Rodarte to get that foot in bounds.
Already been a big playmaker for Ohio today, Max Rodarte. Navarro heaving it up again. Hendricks by himself. 31 yards out.
West Virginia comes after Navarro there. And look at the touch pass, dropping it in the bucket to Chase Hendricks, who beats 2 West Virginia defenders. He's in the slot and just runs by Darian Lewis there on the inside. And what a pass by Parker Navarro.
Just the second career touchdown for Chase Hendricks. And Ohio has scored 17 straight points.
So Chase Hendricks, 7, he's in the slot. Darian Lewis, 24, is going to be over him. Right side of the screen, 7. He's right by where the 30 is, the 3 is, in the slot. Lewis jumps him like he's got safety help over the top, but he doesn't. Navarro reads it perfectly. Hendricks runs the route, puts it in there, and a big-time touchdown for the Bobcats here.
And Chase Hendricks moving him to the slot in this offense, they ask a lot of that slot receiver. There's a lot of choice routes he can do, a lot of mental stuff, and he realized in the spring, it's going to take a lot. He got in the film room with Parker Navarro to make sure that they were on the same page, extra reps in practice.
And again, that's a quarterback wide receiver combo that's been together a while, right? And it shows. They look like they're in lockstep here, in sync in this first half.
Both Navarro and Hendricks preseason all-MAC selections. By the way, Parker Navarro, Rini, 10 for his last 11 for 154 yards in that touchdown.
And that was a nice little fall-away throw as well for the touchdown, falling back by Parker Navarro.
So how do you approach this drive now if you're West Virginia?
Well, they go fast. Good fair catch. You're at the 25, so this first play, and you got 2 timeouts, this first play, you got to get a little chunk. You got to get a little something here. But they go fast anyway, so it's not like, hey, they're going to run 2-minute offense. This is what they do, and they're definitely going to put their foot on the gas here and try to score.
It's been 3 straight 3-and-outs for Rich Rod's West Virginia Mountaineers. That's Clay Ash. Remember on the last drive, their main running back, Jaheim White, was helped off of the field.
And they try to surprise the Ohio defense with a run on first down, and they were not surprised.
Marchiol throwing on the move. Pass is complete. That's enough for the first down to the 38-yard line. And the catch made by Rodney Gallagher.
I mean, he gets out of bounds, so the clock stops. You don't have to rush, although they want to go fast, but the clock is stopped. It won't start until the snap.
Clay Ash immediately had a guy on his back.
And West Virginia's going to have to call a timeout. And they just try to go with a counter play. You see him pull the 2 offensive linemen. I talked about that defense being very mature and understanding. They read those offensive linemen. As soon as they pulled, the linebackers shot through there, and they got the tackle for the loss. I mean, that's reading and recognizing the play as a defensive unit.
Yeah, Evan Herman had the tackle there. Redshirt sophomore out of Wisconsin. And so now West Virginia still has 1 timeout after taking this one. 50 seconds on the clock.
Interesting call there, though. Under a minute, you go with a little counter play, counter tray, you pull the 2 offensive linemen, and probably something on film they thought they could pop, but Ohio was right there for the defensive play.
Oh, and Jaheim White is just now coming out of the medical tent, and you see him favoring that left leg and on crutches, and the cart waiting, Rini.
Yeah, not good. You just hope it's something that, man, it's not serious. You hope he's okay, because he's a star for this team, and just don't want to lose him.
He was injured on the last series for West Virginia. And one of the impact players, one of their targets, Jaheim White and Cam Vaughn, are their 2 big playmakers.
Yeah, and see, White's hurting. We've really only called Cam Vaughn's name out once today in this first half. 1 big-time catch, and when he did make that big-time catch, that series led to their touchdown.
Oh, you hate to see Jaheim White for West Virginia.
And that's what the pause is. The cart that he's on is kind of close to the sideline, so the officials are waiting for it to pull away, and they're going to let him come across the field, for that matter.
And earlier in this game, I mean, he's the reason West Virginia is on the scoreboard, had the longest touchdown of his career. And unfortunately, he is taken off by the cart after coming out of the medical tent. Second and 13, 50 seconds on the clock. West Virginia has 1 timeout. A pass complete to Jaden Bray. Third down, West Virginia's only converted once on third down. Almost threw an interception. Jack Freeze so close to snatching that.
And Markio looks right, comes back. His last read, and man, he kind of stared at it when he came back left, and Jack Freeze, 27, goes right through him, almost picks it off.
A guy that walked on as a safety, and they said, son, you got the body of a linebacker.
Yeah, came here from LaSalle, and
he was a core backup last year. Didn't really play his first 2 seasons, but had 8 tackles last week.
Talked about what a great camp he had as well.
And Rodarte calls for the fair catch.
And if I'm Brian Smith in Ohio, let's take a knee. We won that first half. We played great. Take a knee, get to the locker room. You're up by 2 scores. You're thrilled if you're an Ohio fan right now.
West Virginia will get the football to start the second half. But it's been 17 straight points scored by this Ohio team after West Virginia led 7-0. And Parker Navarro, through it all, has looked like the veteran quarterback that he is.
He's everything we thought he was going to be, and he's doing exactly what we thought he would do. Scramble, make plays, throw the ball, run the offense, a veteran.
Well, Fred Perry got shoved by one of the Ohio players after that, and the officials trying to break it up.
And this is where you don't want to pick up a cheap one because it's going to be 15.
We've seen a few scuffles break out in this game. But the officials have been quick to get in there and break it up. And that's our halftime score right now. Look at this, Ohio up by 10.
Navarro, everything I thought we were going to see. Defense for Ohio, though, lights out. Better than I thought. West Virginia just looks a little lethargic offensively. They have to get going, and it's imperative that they score in that opening drive.
And a big loss for West Virginia, as you saw Jaheim White, their main running back, carted off the field. Ohio leads at the half, 17-7. Getting set for the third quarter here in Athens, Ohio. And yes, the Ohio Bobcats, who won 11 games last year for the first time in school history, they are up on West Virginia. Out of the Big 12, Ohio has scored 17 unanswered points, and West Virginia will get the ball to start the second half. Courtney Lyle and Rini Angolia with you. What stood out about that first half that we just watched?
The Ohio defense, and other than the 1 touchdown drive for West Virginia, just lethargic on offense. They have to come out here in the first half. They get the ball first. They have to put a drive together.
Well, let's take a look at today's Good Hands plays. They're brought to you by Allstate, and we saw several of them. It was West Virginia who was able to score first in this game. They had some nice throws.
Well, and you see that catch by Cam Vaughn. It's the only time we called his name out, and that was before this run from Jaheim White. So you got to get Cam Vaughn back in it. That was a nice-looking touchdown drive, but other than that, West Virginia lethargic.
Yeah, and it was Ohio who grabbed that momentum. Max Rodarte had some nice catches, and Parker Navarro, wow.
Rodarte from Navarro, and then Chase Hendricks was a big target. And they looked really good. And again, Parker Navarro, everything we thought he was going to be and more.
Now, Parker Navarro right now, 10 for his last 11 for 154 yards and a touchdown. Look at the comparison, and I want to draw your attention to the last line here. Total plays.
Yeah, if I had to tell you, I would circle that 24. Rich Rodriguez's goal is 100 plays a game and 25 first downs. They are way away from that goal to this point.
The second quarter was all Ohio. They scored 14 points. West Virginia didn't score anything. And in the second quarter, West Virginia only had 25 yards.
Yeah, it's and listen, give a lot of credit to the Ohio defense. They were flying around playing really good, but West Virginia is much better on offense. They got to get some chunk plays to get themselves going.
Let's see if Preston Fox can give them a little boost here on the kickoff return. Now, we do want to mention, too, we are still looking for an official update on Jaheim White. He was carted off the field in the second quarter. That is their main running back and one of their top playmakers that we don't anticipate seeing. He was on the cart favoring one of his legs.
They do have an x-ray facility here, so you would assume that's what they're going to do, check him out, get everything. But if we get an official word back, we will let you know, but no word as of now.
What did you think of Nico Marchiol at the quarterback position for West Virginia?
I thought he made some good plays, but not consistent enough. And again, they got to try to stretch the field, I think, a little bit. Get Cam Vaughn involved.
Markey will keep it, falls forward and picks up 3 yards on the play, stopped by Jack Freeze.
And you see that 2 or 3 yards on first down. The goal for Ohio was to limit 2 to 3 yards on first down. So good job there as we look at the West Virginia play chart in that first half.
I see a lot of punts on that screen. The only touchdown was Jaheim White, his longest touchdown of his career in the first quarter before he was injured in the second quarter. No gain on the play.
And already first possession out, a 3rd and long, and they were 1 for 6 was West Virginia on 3rd down conversions in that first half.
Lukeman with the stop for this Ohio defense. Markiel to the skies, got a wide open target. Jaden Bray, who's been the most consistent catcher in the first half, they find him again.
That's the big time play Nico Markiel needed to make. What a throw. Outside shoulder to Jaden Bray on 3rd down. Big time chunk play for West Virginia.
His 4th catch of the game. 45-yard pickup. Markiel on the ground, pushing forward towards the 20, picks up at least 3.
Yeah, go a little quarterback counter there, pick up a couple, but boy, that's that explosive chunk play we were talking about that West Virginia really lacked in the first half. Needed it badly there on 3rd down, and Markiel came up with a big-time throw to Bray.
Well, we've seen the West Virginia team who wants to go fast, but here they slow things down. They fake it to Clay Ash. Markiel's pass batted down by Jay Crable.
And Crable plays that jack position, they call it. He's sometimes down on the line of scrimmage, but can also drop back. And they just reading Markiel right there. Times it up. Very athletic, 6'3", 240, can move in space. It's a nice play there.
Had a sack last week against Rutgers, the only sack of the game. Markiel was looking towards Gallagher, instead trying to weave his way through the Ohio defense, and no gain. That's a tough thing to do. Ohio's defense has been pretty good today.
Yeah, Markiel wanted to throw that. They thought they were going to almost show a little play action, slide Ash, the running back, down the seam, but he was covered perfectly. Markiel had nowhere to throw it, so he kept it, and wisely, they're going to kick a field goal here again.
So this will be this will be a 38-yard field goal attempt. As you see, Markiel today 8 for 14 for 115 yards. Cade Hensley is the kicker, the transfer from Coastal. And it's up and good. So 3 points on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter out of the locker room for West Virginia. They pull within a score. Well, the Frank has been packed here in Athens, Ohio. Still waiting on that official number to see if we had a record crowd, but it is a sellout. And West Virginia just came out of the locker room and kicked a 38-yard field goal on what looked to be a pretty nice drive for them.
If you're West Virginia, as poorly as you've played, okay, you're still only down 7 in this game. So, came out, would have loved the touchdown, but you get the 3, get it back to 1 score. Now the defense has to go to work.
And it's a kick out of bounds.
That doesn't help because you just gave Parker Navarro exceptional field position to start his drive.
And Parker Navarro, a guy that can do it all, and we saw that in the first half. Remember, last year, Navarro threw for over 2,000 yards, rushed for over 1,000 yards. And last week, he was responsible for 4 touchdowns. He's the MAC Offensive Player of the Week. And look at his numbers today.
Yeah, 31 total touchdowns last year. I mean, he's on his way to doing that again, if not more, this season. Zach Ellie told us, I've told my defense, we cannot let him hurt us with his feet. Well, he has in that first half for sure.
He's rushed for 43 yards. Extending plays for Ohio. C.A. Bangura picks up 2. Fred Perry with the tackle.
Call Fred Perry's name out a few times today.
Yeah.
Very active.
He's leading them with 7 tackles today. Dumps it over the top to Bangura. Catches it around the 40-yard line. Stopped by Darian Lewis to pick up a 4.
Yeah, good close by Lewis. And speaking of the MAC, he was at Akron last year. He spent 4 years at Akron and transferred this year, but he does a nice close, make that tackle, no yards after the catch, and chance to get off the field here and get a stop.
And Lewis has been one of the biggest surprises, Zach Alley told us, from fall camp. Ohio 3 for 7 on 3rd down. Navarro leans back, fires, and out come the flags. Caleb Gossett was the intended target. Darian Lewis, we saw him get in trouble in the first half for some PI.
Exact same type of play. You just got to turn around.
Penalty, automatic, first down.
And we'll get a look at it here. If you're contacting the receiver, which he is, you got to get your head around. He started to, but you're going to get called every time.
How big is that?
That's, again, a 3rd down. It happened on 3rd down before, I believe. Fresh set of downs here for the Bobcats.
Takes them to the West Virginia 43. 44. C.A. Bangura. It takes several guys to get him down. He's a yard short of the first down, but picks up 9.
And that's, staying ahead of the chains. Positivity on first down, 9 yards, perfect. And you see Bangura's burst as well. He's worked on that. He's really an every down back. He can pass, protect as well, catch the ball, good explosion. Like what I'm seeing out of C.A. Bangura.
Yeah, spent 3 seasons at Ohio before transferring to Minnesota for last year and then coming back to Ohio. Actually rushed for over 1,000 yards in 2022 as an Ohio Bobcat. Navarro avoids a tackle, tucks it and runs inside the 30, leaping out around the 37, or the 27.
I just don't know what you do there. I mean, Ashton Woods, 33, the middle linebacker, comes free. And Navarro just beats him. I mean, that's just one-on-one. I mean, and it's hard. I'm not blaming Ashton Woods. Parker Navarro is so nifty. So your linebacker's free, and you think, okay, he's going to make a tackle. Navarro gets out. Not only does he not make the tackle for a loss, Navarro picks up a first down.
Well, Brian Smith has said you can see his experience when he plays. Crafty, so smart, so familiar and comfortable with this system. Bangura able to hang on to that one as he was hit hard by Braden Siders. Chase Wilson got up in Navarro's face.
A big-time hit right there by Siders. Really nice protection, though, by that offensive line for Ohio. I mean, Navarro had all day back there to kind of scan the field. They've done a nice job up front as Ohio.
Interception! West Virginia back the other way. Darian Lewis, who was just called for pass interference on 3rd down, makes up for it with the INT.
And that's a big-time takeaway that Zach Alley and his defense needed. And you said it. Darian Lewis makes up for the PI, jumps the route, gets the interception. And this West Virginia offense in great position. Again, good. Physical there, man. Great job by Lewis. He's physical with the tight end, but he's reading Navarro. Navarro never sees Lewis. Physical, releases the tight end, then jumps the underneath route immediately, gets the interception. Big-time play for Darian Lewis.
And redemption for the transfer from Akron. Zach Alley told us he was so impressed with Darian Lewis about how he stayed at Akron when Akron wasn't winning football games. Stayed there 4 years.
Got to have that flush it mentality as a defensive back.
And he does. They'll give it to Cam Vaughn, who we highlighted as one of the top targets, but only had 1 catch in the first half.
Yeah, got to get Cam Vaughn going, so I understand the jet sweep. Let's hand him the ball, but a nice job by that defense just to ride it out and just nowhere for Cam Vaughn to go, just back at the line of scrimmage. That's it.
And you made a good point, too. Cam Vaughn transferring from Jacksonville State. Ohio played Jacksonville State in the bowl game, so they know what Cam Vaughn can do. They were ready for him today. That just out of reach of Jacob Barrick.
And he had Jacob Barrick on that sideline, too. He goes up. Looked like he was going to make the catch. Looked like his hands were kind of backwards a little as he goes up. And, he kind of has those hands underneath instead of up with that star He's just kind of awkward there.
Another Jacksonville State transfer. Third down, Mountaineers 2 for 8. Markhill still alive, but not for long. Nemo Dukes drops the QB.
And Michael Molnar as well, 25. The Mike linebacker wears the green dot, the communication. He read it immediately when Markhill stepped up. Watch the coverage in the back end. Too deep zone. Look at him rotate over nicely. And then as soon as Markhill decides, I'm going to run, Molnar was the first to break on it. Dukes was there as well. Again, very disciplined defense for Ohio.
An important stop for them after Parker Navarro just threw the interception. This punt goes out of bounds inside the 15. Ohio looking to get back on track after the interception on their last offensive series.
Manning, Texas looked much better today. Speaking of the shoe.
This Ohio Bobcat crew has looked pretty solid today. They led 17-7 at the half. And Parker Navarro, a big reason for that. Picks up 9 on the play. On the last drive, he threw an interception.
Yeah, and so he's got to flush it too with the memory, and he does. But again, when your quarterback kind of at will can pick up 6, 7, 8 yards on first down, that puts you in such a bind defensively, keeps them ahead of the chains. 2nd and 2 is a wonderful down to be in if you're a play caller.
Way on schedule, if you will.
Yep.
Duncan Brune is the running back. They put Gossett in motion. Brune's turn. And he gets the first down. Well, while there is a new head coach for this Ohio team, Brian Smith is in his 4th season at Ohio. So yes, there is new leadership, but just at the head job, I mean, the consistency, they were able to keep their defensive coordinator, their quarterbacks coming back. That's huge.
Hauser's been here 3 years, defensive coordinator. Isferding, 13 years, offensive coordinator. So I talk about stability when I think Ohio, and a lot of experience. And of course, to have a 4th-year quarterback like Parker Navarro back, it's paying dividends for them.
Back-to-back carries for Brune, and you saw Brian Smith there, played at Hawaii. He was a long snapper and a center as a traditional Hawaii lei of greenery around his neck for the game.
Yep, never forget where you came from, right? Love it. Talked about that in our production call with him.
We found out he was going to get the head coaching job when the team was at Universal Studios for their bowl game. He was doing media and was trying to find his family to go on a roller coaster and found out he was going to be the head coach.
Well, you know, Orlando, I happen to live there. It's my hometown. It's the happiest place on earth, whether you're at our boss, Disney, or a competitor down the street, Universal. So, yeah, it's pretty happy for Brian Smith and his family, right, to learn that and then go out and win that bowl game. So he went 1-0 right away with a bowl win over Jacksonville State, Rich Rodriguez's school, but he had left for West Virginia already, so a lot going on there.
Third and just inches here for Ohio. Yeah, no problem for C.A. Bangura. Still going, still getting that push.
You know, and watching that, talking to Zach Alley and talking to Rich Rodriguez, the defense, they needed to bolster the middle of the defense, stronger in the middle. Well, you see it right there. Look at the push. Those green jerseys, that offensive line, that's called winning at the line of scrimmage. Short yardage, and you get pushed like that and you move them off the ball. They can't do that.
And this offensive line was a question mark heading in. They were cross-training a lot of guys at different positions along the line to find the best combinations. We did see some snap issues last week, but you think improvement this week?
Way improved.
Oh, Bangura's still going. He just has that will in him.
It's all effort. You talk about keep the legs moving. You hear people say keep the legs churning. This is what keeping the legs churning is. You think he's going to get tackled, the line of scrimmage, 1 yard, maybe 2 yards. Look at him just keep going. And then you see the lean, right? Get behind his shoulder pads and go.
Navarro now has to go. grabs 2 more yards. Going back to C.A. Bangura coming into the season, transferring back from Minnesota. Remember, he had already been here for 3 seasons. He's talked about the focus this year for him, making people miss more, and then using his hands, catching the ball, being a target.
Well, obviously, most of these guys, they want to get a shot at the next level. They want to play in the NFL, and as a running back like C.A. Bangura, it's not just about running. It's about catching the ball out of the backfield and pass protection as well, something that all these backs need to work on.
And Brian Smith, the head coach now, was actually the running back coach when Bangura was a freshman on this Ohio team. So a great relationship with him. Not a hard sell to come back. Throwing it up for Mason Williams in all kinds of traffic. Never had possession. That'll be incomplete.
Well, and it looked like Chase Wilson, 30, the linebacker, he was on coverage on the tight end Williams, and he looked like he grabbed him. Didn't get the call. The ball goes in and gets knocked away. It looked like he grabbed him right off the route, but what a job, though, by Chase Wilson to fight back and knock that ball out. Close to a catch and a fumble, but it goes incomplete. But that's how you don't give up on the play, Chase Wilson. Nice job.
Chase Wilson, one of the most experienced guys for West Virginia. 4th down, here they go. And Parker Navarro can just make it happen.
Zach Alley has the right defense called. Curtis Jones, 18, is unblocked, okay? He gets to Navarro, and you're like, oh, they're going to get a stop. And Navarro just beats him with his feet. He's done it time and time again. I mean, it's really hard to put a defensive end or even a linebacker one-on-one with Navarro, because Navarro's going to win most of the time, and he did right there on 4th down.
Bobcats keep driving. This will be the 10th play on this drive. Bangura, middle of the field. Came out of the backfield to use his hands like we talked about.
Going back to Navarro and head coach Brian Smith, who's also the offensive coordinator, what trust he has in Navarro to say, you know what, I'm going to leave the ball in your hands, 4th down, tight game. I know you'll make the right decision, and if all fails, you'll make it out. He'll make the play with your feet.
And for Parker Navarro, after the success they had last year, to not transfer, to realize I want to be where I can have the most football success. He wasn't chasing the money. Brian Smith was very complimentary of that. Back to Bangura, drops it. That would have been a 1st down.
Yeah, and Bangura kind of pointed his chest, but Ben Cutter, 15, very physical player, especially in the box. Yeah, he was the reason Bangura dropped that ball. But, to your point, too, like, Navarro's happy. Like, there's something that goes to, like, playing football, being at a school where you're happy having fun, right? It's not all about the money. And I love that Parker Navarro stayed here and is finishing his career at Ohio.
He's about to run the 12th play of this drive. They sent Hendricks in motion. Pulls it from Duncan Bird. And Navarro's going to be short. Tarnu got to him and lost 2 on the play.
Big time play by Tarnu, and really that's the first time a defensive player for West Virginia has come up and made a stop. Because if Tarnu doesn't make this tackle, Navarro goes around left edge. Not only does he get a 1st down, he probably scores. So big time play by Tarnu.
Ohio's already converted 1 time on 4th down on this drive. They will go for it again. There's Zach Alley, the defensive coordinator for West Virginia, coming from Oklahoma. Navarro trying to direct traffic. He's got pressure, spins out of it. And heaves it to West Virginia. Ben Cutter.
And there is a flag on the play on the far sideline. There's a flag by the West Virginia sideline. We'll see what the call is, but tremendous defense by West Virginia that time. We'll see if it's going to hold up.
Illegal shift, number 6 and number 85, offense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is an interception, 1st down, West Virginia. Timeout on the field.
This West Virginia defense, its 2nd interception of the game. Kicks off Monday with the Vikings and the Bears, 8 Eastern on ESPN. ABC, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli back on ESPN2. Coverage begins with Scott Van Pelt and Monday Night Countdown crew at Soldier Field at 6 Eastern. Courtney Lyle and Reedy Angolia with you here in Athens, Ohio. Parker Navarro just threw his second interception, both coming in the third quarter, and now West Virginia has got a new quarterback in, Jalen Henderson. The transfer from Texas A&M, spent a couple seasons there and a couple of seasons at Fresno State.
Yeah, big and powerful, has really good speed, 6'3", 227, and looking to get a little change of pace here. A nice run on first down by Henderson.
And Rich Rod told us the moment is never too big for Jalen Henderson. He has SEC experience. Takes it to the 49-yard line, still on the West Virginia side of the field. The entire rest of this game, it's been Nico Marchiol who won the starting job in camp.
Well, and right there, DJ Walker, number 2 for Ohio, comes up and makes the tackle. If Henderson can beat him, he's got a lot of green turf in front of him. So that's just game reps for Henderson.
We saw Henderson get 2 carries last week for 40 yards. This time he'll hand it off to Sincere Bowers, and it's a loss on the play. If you're just tuning in, West Virginia lost Jaheim White. It has been confirmed he will not return to this game. He was injured, their main running back in the second quarter.
And just not getting any movement up front is that offensive line. And Nehemiah Dukes, 44, the defensive tackle, who they thought was going to probably be a backup. He's won the starting job, and he's been very active. That time got across the face of the offensive lineman and just kind of causing all kinds of havoc. And just like that, it's a 3 and out.
Reedy, it's the 5th 3 and out for West Virginia. Both times that Ohio has thrown an interception, West Virginia can't capitalize. And Max Rodarte lets this punt go into the end zone.
And you don't take advantage of a great defensive stop, right? It looked like the defense was playing with a sense of urgency. They stop Parker Navarro from making a play with his feet. They get the interception. You're like, okay, you got some momentum. And then offensively, they just can't get going.
That last drive for Ohio that ended in the interception, it was a 13-play drive. They were taking oodles of time off the clock.
So no points scored, but yeah, took a lot of time off the clock, can possess this clock.
And Ohio's had 2 interceptions on their last 2 drives. During that time, 19 plays for 81 yards, and they've eaten up 9 minutes and 26 seconds.
So you'd love to get some points, but if not, burn a lot of clock, and it's exactly what they've done.
Let's see, too, if Navarro looks towards Hendricks. They haven't targeted him in this half. And that clock should tick down to signal the end of the third quarter. We head to the fourth quarter with Ohio in front of West Virginia. Ohio hasn't beaten West Virginia since 1949. 1 quarter left to play here in Athens. Ohio has the lead on West Virginia to start the fourth quarter. And the last time a Big 12 team came to Athens, Ohio, Reedy, it was in 2023, a couple of years ago. Iowa State came to town, and guess what? The Ohio Bobcats got the win in this game.
I said it earlier, they don't shy away from playing anybody. The good Iowa State team as well.
It was Rodney Matthews' interception that was able to seal that win for Ohio, 10-7 over Iowa State just a couple of years ago. Ohio took the lead into the locker room at halftime. They lead here 17-10 with a quarter to play. Parker Navarro, pocket collapsing, escapes it like he's done all game. Dancing on the sideline, spins out shy of the 40.
And it does look like this half, the West Virginia defense is playing with more of a sense of urgency to stop Parker Navarro. They keep him in the pocket, but again, he steps up. And then if a linebacker or safety can't come up, and there's Fred Perry, who's actually played excellent today, can't make the tackle, that's what happens, just big-time runs.
A 19-yard pickup. He's thrown 2 interceptions, both of those coming in the third quarter. West Virginia didn't get any points off of those interceptions. C.A. Bangura. Gain of 3. hit over 50 yards on the ground in this game.
Justin Harrington, safety, came up, made a nice hit. You know, Fred Perry, I talked about him. He's got 9 tackles today, 2 TFLs, a sack, and a pass breakup. Very active. Number 5, the nickel for West Virginia.
You know, it's an Ohio team that last week felt like they had the capability to beat Rutgers. They lost by 3. Saw their potential in that game. There's going to be a timeout, Ohio. And you've seen that belief carry over into this game against West Virginia. So Ohio takes a timeout. We will too. 4th quarter here in Athens. The U.S. Open Men's Championship match tomorrow at 2 Eastern on ABC and the all-new ESPN app. You know the matchup, Sinner versus Alcaraz. Coverage begins with the men's preview show at 1 Eastern. First time in the Open era with the same 2 men contesting 3 straight major finals.
Chalk, 1 versus 2, right?
Crazy battle for number 1. That's tomorrow. And now Ohio trying to add to its lead. And the 3rd interception of the game thrown by Parker Navarro.
At a much-needed time. Zach Alley's defense, their goal
Interception, first down, West Virginia.
is 3 takeaways a game. That's their 3rd. They had 2 last week. This is a defensive unit, Court. Last year only had 11 takeaways all season. They got 5 already this year and 3 today. And a big-time interception by Chase Wilson. It looked like his hands were underneath it. I don't even think replay will stop that clear interception to me. Now, can the offense do something with it? And will the quarterback be Jalen Henderson or Nico Marchiol? We shall see.
And the first 2 interceptions thrown by Parker Navarro. West Virginia didn't get points off of them. Can they change that here? And Jalen Henderson is out at quarterback. 2nd series they have run him out at quarterback as opposed to Nico Marchiol. Henderson looking for Grayson Barnes, and that pass incomplete. DJ Walker was there, one of the young captains for Ohio.
And that's a seam route that he throws, and he led Barnes into the safety. You gotta keep that ball on the hash so you can fit it in there. Barnes can make the catch and then get the hit by the safety. That ball drifted inside, collision incomplete.
Henderson on the move, on the far sideline over the head of Cam Vaughn.
And that's where scramble rules, Vaughn actually broke down the sideline, and that's one where if Henderson can keep it in bounds and give Vaughn a chance to go and make that catch, could have a big play. But again, it's reps, right? It's game reps. You have to get out there and play, and here we go.
3rd and 10. Henderson will go. Flag is down. They mark him a yard short of the line needed.
Yeah, but it's coming back.
Holding, number 52, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
That's Nick Cray, the left tackle.
I like the decisiveness from Jalen Henderson. Decided to run, put those shoulders down. Big 230-pound quarterback. Would have been 4th and 1 instead. Back him up. It's going to be 3rd and 20. Now, you're going to go for it here on 4th down, most likely, if you can pick up 10 or 12 yards, because Rich Rod is very aggressive.
Henderson in trouble. Dropped by the Bobcat defense. Nehemiah Dukes and Derek Reagans.
And now you got to punt this thing, and there he is, that guy, 44. Dukes, once again, been very active from his defensive tackle spot.
The Youngstown State transfer.
And he spins off and just kind of waits. It's not like he got upfield with penetration, but spins off the block, waits for Henderson to come out of the pocket and makes the tackle.
Well, you just saw one of the players, I think it was Jaden Bray, being carted off for West Virginia. We'll try to get an update on him, the second player. They've already lost Jaheim White today. Jaden Bray being carted off for West Virginia, and his shoe off on his left foot, crutches beside him. And that's big because he has been the most targeted player. He's got 4 catches today. They already lost Jaheim White in the second quarter, who was their leading rusher. Parker Navarro has thrown 3 interceptions for Ohio today, but West Virginia hasn't got points off of any of them. When these had the 3 interceptions, Rainey, what have you noticed about those plays?
I just think good defense from West Virginia, because he's played well, Parker Navarro. He's had a great game except those 3 interceptions. And we look at the last 3 drive charts. But the thing is, the West Virginia defense has stepped up, but the offense hasn't been able to do anything with the ball in the good field position. So if you're Parker Navarro and you're Ohio here, got a false start. That's going to back you up. But you got to protect the ball.
That's Shedrick Rhodes, who went early, the left tackle for Ohio. Ohio led at the break 17-7. And West Virginia got the ball to start the second half, came out of the locker room, marched down the field, and got a field goal. Nobody scored since then. This is Chase Hendricks. Flags are out. Multiple flags come out on this play.
You're going to have a couple different holdings, it looks like, here. Because they're definitely holding on the outside when Chase Hendricks broke out, but I think we're going to have holding back the line of scrimmage. They'll decline the one and accept the other. But you didn't think Hendricks was going to break out of that tunnel screen, because it's not designed to go to the outside, and he bounces it, and I think it's going to be for naught.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding number 11, offense. That penalty's declined. Holding number 51, offense. That penalty is accepted at the spot of the foul, 10 yards, second down.
So Davion Weatherspoon, the holding on him will be the one that's accepted. Rodney Harris also called for holding.
So you'll take this one back to the line of scrimmage, a spot foul. Brian Smith was not happy with that sequence, and now they're in a hole here.
Looking for their own 33-yard line. Duncan Brune.
And now West Virginia, just nothing over the top, right? It's 3rd and long. Give them the underneath. Come up and make the tackle, and you're going to get another stop and get the ball back for your offense once again. Defense for West Virginia in this fourth quarter, in the second half, has been really good.
Their defense was really good in the second half last week, too. Ohio's been using as much clock as possible. Navarro connects with Ian Pugh on the near sideline, still short of the first down.
Yeah, deep out cut. Even that's not going to hurt you. It's still going to force Ohio to punt the ball here.
And they mark it at the 29, and here comes the punt team.
Now what it does do is, within 5 yards, gives you a first down. So you got to hold your water here defensively for West Virginia. Make sure you do not go off sides.
Magnus Haynes on to punt. Preston Fox is back for West Virginia. He's going. Stopped at the 30. West Virginia looking for more points, down by 7 here in the fourth quarter. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. It's Michigan, it's Oklahoma, and it's happening in about 45 minutes tonight at 7:30 on ABC and the all-new ESPN app.
And some great games early on in this college football season.
So West Virginia, who has gone 3 straight 3-and-outs, we saw for the last 2 series, they ran Jalen Henderson out there at quarterback, but Nico Markiol is back at the quarterback position. The pass incomplete. Jacob Barrick was kind of on the ground when he threw the ball towards him.
Because the linebacker did an exceptional job knocking him off his feet. Markiol wanted to go to him, but Barrett got knocked down, couldn't get back up. I believe it was Michael Molnar, and exactly what you want to do defensively. He's at the line of scrimmage, so you can do that. It's not pass interference.
Markiol sitting in the pocket to throw. Cam Vaughn bounces off a defender, tries to hurdle another. Jumps over Tank Pearson. First down.
Yeah. And if I'm Nico Markiol, I start targeting Cam Vaughn. Just a crossing route, makes the catch, breaks the 1 tackle, uses the umpire for a little screen nicely, and jumps over Tank Pearson. And finally a first down, not a 3-and-out for West Virginia.
And Cam Vaughn had 7 catches last week. Preston Fox over the top, back-to-back first downs. Remember, West Virginia has had their top running back and then their top target today, Jaden Bray and Jaheim White. They both have been carted off the field with injuries in this game. Markiol pulls it. Pushes a defender to gain 2 yards. Michael Molnar in on the play again.
It's not much there for Markiol. You know, when we talked to Coach Rich Rodriguez, he said he wanted to take advantage of shots down the field. They really haven't done that early in this game, but they've done it a couple times here.
Play action for Markiol. There's a shot down the field looking for Vaughn. He tries to go back and get it, incomplete.
And they're saying he's out of bounds. He caught that ball. Side judge is saying he was on the white. We'll get a great look at it here. Yeah, boy, that's interesting. Replay's going to look at this because if his toe was clearly in bounds, that left toe.
An incomplete forward pass is under review.
If they rule he possessed the ball before the knee came down, it's a catch.
But remember, the call on the field, no catch.
Correct.
It has to be clear and obvious.
New verbiage this year. Court's on it. Clear and obvious from replay. So, I mean, if you say possession's there, that's a catch.
They can't review this, but it also might be a face mask.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's not what they're looking at. They're looking for the catch.
And so the key is control, and then does he have a body part inbounds with control? It is so bang bang, and you're on it, Court. They called him out of bounds. Yeah, boy, that left foot looks in. And I kind of tend to go with the offense here, former offensive back. I kind of think he controlled it before the knee hit. But
is it clear and obvious?
Correct. It's clear and obvious to the West Virginia fans and Pat McAfee. It's probably not clear and obvious to the Ohio fans. But boy, is that close. And the ruling on the field out of bounds, so if they do uphold that, they'll say it's upheld. It's one of those ones where whatever way the official called it, it probably wasn't going to get overturned. But this is a big review here for this game.
Yeah, West Virginia has had opportunities. Their defense has gathered 3 interceptions today, but their offense hasn't been able to turn any of those into points.
Yeah, let's look at the reverse angle here. The right foot never hit down until after. The question is that left foot was clearly in. Did he possess it before the left knee hits, guys? Run it a little more. Wow.
Ooh.
It is so close. And I'm with you, right? Clear and obvious. Probably not. It's probably going to be upheld, but wow, is that close.
They've got a decision.
After review, the ruling on the field of incomplete pass is upheld. Third down.
Yeah, it'd be tough to see anything clear and obvious there to overturn it.
And you know me, normally I'm not wishy-washy on it. I'd like to say what I think it is, but they got it right. But that's one of those ones, if the official calls it a catch, it's not getting overturned either. So it's whatever was called on the field, there was nothing clear and obvious anyway to overturn that. And it gets upheld. So now we get back to 3rd and 8 here for West Virginia.
And West Virginia in this half is 1 for 5 on 3rd down. They have not converted in their last 4 attempts on 3rd down. Markiel. Passing complete, looking for Rodney Gallagher, and Jack Freeze all over it.
And I was looking at the West Virginia bench. They thought maybe Freeze, 27, got there a little early. I think he timed it up pretty good. Well, he might have got there a bit early, but no flag.
And 4th down here, obviously going to go for it. And Rich Rod told us if they're inside the 40, no question, he's always going to go for it. Markiel got the pass off to Clay Ash coming out of the backfield, still short. Molnar and Freeze in on the action.
The other thing with this Ohio defense today, they have tackled extremely well. And a lot of times early in the season, you see missed tackles. Watch the pressure. Markiel steps up, knows he's got to get rid of it. It's 4th down, dumps it to Ash, and then Ash has a little running room, but boy, Molnar and Freeze, the 2 middle linebackers, close on the ball like they've been doing all game, and they make the tackle for the turnover on downs.
John Hauser is going to be very pleased with this Ohio defense. He stayed when Tim Albin left to go to Charlotte. He stayed, and Brian Smith, the OC, was named the head coach. That consistency, it's so important.
And we talked a ton about the Ohio defense. This West Virginia defense has been up to the task. Can they get another stop quickly here and get their offense the ball back, because they've been lights out the last 4 or 5 possessions.
Yeah, just like last week for West Virginia, their defense was great in the second half.
Getting stops, getting takeaways.
3 takeaways today for the West Virginia defense, but haven't turned them into points. Bangura battling forward to the 42-yard line.
Good tough run, and obviously makes it a much more manageable 3rd down here, 3rd and a long 2.
And while West Virginia, we've seen they want to play with tempo, they want to go fast, Ohio has been fine, especially with the lead, to milk this clock. Take their time.
Zach Alley, the defensive coordinator there.
They'll put Hendricks in motion. Throwing to Chase Hendricks. He dropped the ball at the 45.
Completed pass with a forward fumble out of bounds. The ball is going to be short of the line of game. It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, so he fumbled it out of bounds forward. By rule, it's going to go back to where he fumbled it. Let's take a look at it. He's taking the ball out because he was going to reach it across the marker, and in doing so, he fumbled the ball. So Tarnu, again, 14 for West Virginia, broke on it and made that play.
Wow, so now you got to punt.
Yeah, you got to. You cannot mess around. You got to punt.
Haynes on to punt. Fox back for West Virginia.
And they got to delay a game.
4th down.
Because they substituted late. The officials came in and held it because by rule, West Virginia can then substitute. But by the time the refs backed out, play clock hit 0.
So 6:28 left in this game. West Virginia's got all 3 timeouts, plus, of course, the 2-minute timeout.
I mean, it's basically been a defensive slugfest here in the second half.
Here goes Preston Fox. Past the 30, just short of the 35-yard line. So we've seen two quarterbacks for West Virginia today, Nico Markiel and Jalen Henderson, but Markiel went back in that last series.
Yeah, and you see the numbers for Parker Navarro. The only negative is those 3 INTs. But West Virginia offensively hasn't been able to, get anything off those interceptions. And we're going to see Markiel again. I think he's the better downfield passer to stretch the field. And they need to do that. They did it a little bit last possession.
Gallagher in motion gets the ball. And you wonder, too, if they put in Jalen Henderson because he is a run threat and they've already lost Jaheim White in this game.
Since Jaheim White's been knocked out of this game, they really haven't had any run presence at all.
It's hard when you're one-dimensional. Markiel throwing up top to Grayson Barnes, the NIU transfer.
He'll tippy-toe the sideline. Clearly gets both feet in. Would have been good tomorrow, Sundays.
.5:30 to go in this game. West Virginia's got all 3 timeouts. And they threw it to Ohio. There's a flag down, though. DJ Walker thinks he has the INT. We'll see the flag.
Gallagher got held. 24, the receiver for West Virginia, coming out of his break. It's going to be a defensive holding call on Ohio. It's going to wipe this interception out. They're going to keep the ball. It's going to be an automatic first down. Line judge was on it quickly.
Pass interference, number 22, defense, spot foul, automatic first down.
So they went with the PI, not the defensive hold. Jalen Thomason, top of the screen. Let's watch it. Number 22 in green on 24. Comes out of the break right there. Clearly, they went PI. Could have went defensive hold. Either way, it's an automatic first down. It's a good call.
Wow.
And a big call.
Clay Ash on the ground. Looking to drive forward, takes it to the 45-yard line. Second down on the way. Markiel looks at Ash and then dives forward. He's got the first down into Ohio territory.
Yeah, good quarterback draw.
There's a player down for Ohio.
It's Freeze, Jack Freeze, the outside linebacker.
Jack Freeze, a walk-on who has become a starter for this Ohio defense.
We've called Freeze 27 and Molnar 25 out a bunch today. Those two linebackers, very active.
Got a shot in the spring and just absolutely ran with it. No doubt he was going to be a starter.
Ran with it in the spring, carried it over, had a great fall camp, and then right into this season. So you hope he's okay.
And you see them looking at his right leg.
We're going to take a look at it here. He's 27 on the right side of the screen. This is a quarterback draw called. It's blocked nicely. Kind of gets pushed from behind, and then, oh, yeah, you just kind of see you get hit lower body coming in to tackle Markiel, and, you know, stuff gets bent and twisted, and he's up. That's a good sign. Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's putting weight on both legs.
You know, and that'll probably slide Molnar over to the Will linebacker and bring Hollabaugh in to play that Mike backer. We'll switch up. As Molnar can play both.
Yeah, so you'll see 24. Hollabaugh as they take Jack Freeze in the tent. Michael Molnar right on cue.
But 16, Joseph Marsh, the defensive end, made this play. Watch the penetration 16 in green gets right away. Markiel couldn't do anything. He's right in his face. He pushes the offensive lineman back. And then they finish it off. I mean, this defense has been lights out.
So it makes it 2nd and 18 from their own 45. They swing it out to Clay Ash. Trying to dance up the sideline. 3rd down on the way.
Good job by Ash, though. Gets to that sideline, doesn't try to cut it back. Just get down the sideline, get as much yardage as you can.
And now 44, Nehemiah Dukes, who we have called his name a lot. He's down right now for the Ohio defense.
And you kind of, you hear some boo bugs because there is a lot of West Virginia fans who are thinking, oh, you're trying to slow us down. There is a new rule this year, feigning an injury, but it's only if you go down after the ball's spotted. And Dukes went down real early after this play. Ball wasn't close to being spotted.
He's been credited with 6 tackles today for this Ohio defense. And it's like they're stretching out his left leg.
Yeah, you hope it's a cramp. The big guy's been very active today. We've called his name out a bunch, and where's that 44? Kind of runs like a fullback, but he's 290, so 6'1", 290 defensive tackle has been active today. Needs to get some electrolytes in him, them hydrated up.
Well, for Ohio, they scored 17 unanswered points, took a 17-7 lead into the locker room, but haven't scored since the 2nd quarter. West Virginia came out of the locker room, put together one of their best drives of the game, only got 3 points off of it, and they haven't scored.
And then it's been a 15-round slugfest with 2 defenses just going at it. And
with 2 offensive-minded head coaches.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? 2 offensive-minded head coaches, they both call the plays.
Yeah.
But yet, and if you're a West Virginia fan, you're probably really frustrated, right? Just haven't gotten anything going offensively. But you got to be happy defensively because you were a defense that was in the bottom 3 of the Big 12 last year, really bottom half in the country in a lot of categories. But time after time after time, this defense for West Virginia and Zach Elliott have gotten stops and opportunities for the offense. They just haven't taken advantage of it.
And 3 takeaways today for the West Virginia defense, but offense hasn't capitalized. West Virginia 2 for 12 on 3rd down. Cam Vaughn, by the way, at the top of your screen. Yeah, I think he jumped.
And that's just a killer. You can't do that.
Snap, false start, number 4. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Especially when you're a wide receiver in the slot. It just, you just can't do it. He knows, but that goes from a manageable 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9 now, but 4 down territory, obviously. They got 2 downs to pick this up, but boy, that hurts.
So clock rolling, 3:35. West Virginia's got 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. They're on the Ohio side of the field. Markiel hit as he throws and threw it to Ohio. Cameron Hollabaugh, who just came in when Jack Freeze was hurt. A guy that's been rotating through in the spring, Reedy. He was playing baseball at Walsh.
Yeah, and which is a Division II school, comes up with a big interception. Big pressure on Markiel. Right in his face, tries to get the throw off. His arms definitely hit. Just you see the pocket get pushed back. That was Crable 12, I think, that got a piece of him right as he threw it. Ball kind of flutters, and Hollaball's there for the interception.
A guy that was a high priority in the transfer portal for this Ohio team comes up with a big play. And now Ohio right away in West Virginia territory. Navarro scrambling. when you start looking at those timeouts for West Virginia?
You know, and right there, the clock will start again, but Parker Navarro made a mistake by going out of bounds, and I thought that's why he went back to the right. He was just going to go down in bounds. He ended up getting on that right sideline and getting knocked out. And because he went out of bounds and the clock stopped, Rich Rodriguez said, all right, I'm going to use one right now. I'm not even going to let it start again. So that's an error for Parker Navarro right there to do that. So I guess Rich Rod just answered your question.
Yeah.
Took that timeout, and he's like, all right, we're going to try to save the clock again.
Yeah, so he'll have 2 left, and then the 2-minute timeout,
Correct.
of course. But
And they're behind the chains now because you got a nice negative play there on first down.
well, for West Virginia, their 3rd trip here to Athens. They're looking for their first win here for Ohio. They haven't beaten West Virginia since 1949.
Neither of us were around, Court.
Nope.
Well, my dad's watching at home. He was 9, so, you know, he might remember it. You never know.
It's been all about the defense in the second half. Second and 15. Hendricks in motion. Bangura on the ground. And he's tackled by Ashton Woods. And West Virginia is going to use another timeout.
Yeah, because once you start calling them, go ahead. So this, interesting here on 3rd down. Interesting call, first of all, for Brian Smith. Okay, do you get aggressive and try to get the first down right through the air? Or do you just run it, see if you can break it, but enforce West Virginia to take another timeout? We'll see.
Well, the all-new ESPN app is the best way to watch sports. All of ESPN, all in one place with live games, live stats. Plus, you can track your fantasy teams and personalize with your favorite leagues, teams, and players. West Virginia had a 7-3 lead in this ball game. Ohio jumped in front in the second quarter, and they have held on since, but a 3rd down coming. West Virginia with 1 timeout remaining, plus the 2-minute timeout. Navarro's got the first down. And it's something we've seen all day. Parker Navarro extending the play, extending the drive.
And I thought the defense had him where they wanted him, but again, he just steps up, breaks 1 tackle. Once he broke 1 tackle, and that was 33 Ashton Woods, you knew he was going to be able to get the first down.
Oh, goodness. And Chase Wilson right now, the green dot for West Virginia. It means he wears the coach to player radio. He's being looked at by the training staff.
And you're just going back to that play, too. It looked like a pass play, but to me, I got to believe Brian Smith through Scott Isfording, the offensive coordinator, got in Parker Navarro's speaker and said, listen, it's a pass play, but just run the ball. Don't risk throwing another interception. You're good with your feet. Show pass. They have to defend it, but then find a seam and go.
Chase Wilson limping off the field for this West Virginia defense. Parker Navarro today, 5 runs of 10 or more yards. That's 1 shy of his career high.
Now you still get a stoppage at the 2-minute timeout, and you still have a timeout left. So this game isn't over yet. Defense can still come up big here for West Virginia, but they're really behind it right now.
.236 showing on the clock. Oh, and West Virginia's going to take the timeout.
Because I didn't realize, because there was an injury, the clock was going to start.
Yeah.
So it actually ran, I think, 4 seconds, or a few seconds. They may reset it, but they had to use that timeout. So now you're really behind it.
And so West Virginia will be out of timeouts. The 2-minute timeout is still on the way. But it is a team who uses tempo.
Yeah.
And they go fast.
So you're going to run a play here for Ohio. It's going to go to 2 minutes. So then it's 2 minutes, right? You can roughly run off 40-second play clock, 45 seconds per play. Do the math with me, Court. In 90 seconds, that's a minute and a half. Get the fourth down. I mean, it's really tight.
Yeah, it's
if
tight.
you get the ball back, there's going to be very, very little time left. And they did put 3 seconds back on, but it's a moot point. It's going to go to the 2-minute timeout.
And obviously Ohio will just want to run the football and let that clock go to the 2-minute timeout. I mean, we knew coming into this game it would be close. I think they opened the week up. West Virginia was just a 3.5-point favorite to start the week. And Ohio led at the half. They haven't let go of that lead. Two minutes to decide this ball game. Ohio with the football when we come back. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, trying to get a first down. Ohio seeking its first win against West Virginia since 1949. West Virginia's had chances.
Yeah.
They've picked off 3 of Parker Navarro's passes today.
Offense just could not get anything going. And the defense not only got him the ball back, but good field position.
Ohio's got to get a first down here. Second down, Bangura. And the clock will roll. West Virginia has no timeouts. Eddie Kelly. And Ohio's happy to just let it go.
Well, and then longer, Bangura can stay on his feet and keep fighting, right? The clock's still running because it's 40-second play clock. So very disciplined team. Parker Navarro's not going to snap this until it's under 3, and he's probably experienced enough where he's going to let it get to 1.
They ran out of time.
Huge mistake.
Yes.
Huge mistake.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Wow.
Game clock operator, please reset the game
You
clock
can't-
for 1 minute, 12
You
seconds.
can't do that. It's the only way the clock can stop is if you have a penalty. And so I was like, okay, he's going to run it down to 1, and he just was too nonchalant. So now the clock stopped. Doesn't start to the snap, and it's 3rd and 16. So huge opportunity here for West Virginia. Wow.
Trying to get to the 26-yard line. Navarro dumps it over the top to Mason Williams. Marked at the 29, still needs 3 more yards.
Yeah, he's short, but he stayed in bounds, which was crucial. They're going to let this tick all the way down to 1. Ryan Smith's going to call a timeout, and then I believe they'll go for it on 4th down. I mean, you're at the 29-yard line. It's 4th and 3, but he's going to let it go all the way to 1. Timeout, and then they'll go for it here on 4th down. And there's no way you would kick it here. It's their backup kicker, and even if it was your starting kicker, you don't want to risk a block. So you know, most coaches would never kick it in this situation, although it puts you up by 2 scores. In college, anyway. NFL, different story.
Charge time out of the half. 30 seconds delay.
So 22 seconds showing on the clock. 4th down on the way here for Ohio.
And I believe they'll go for it. So if you're West Virginia, you get a stop. The play's probably going to take, I'm guessing, about 5 seconds. So you get the ball back with 18 seconds left, thereabout, with a chance to go down and score and tie the game or go for 2 and win it. And your offense hasn't been able to do it other than the 1 drive.
And West Virginia has no timeouts. They did bump the clock up to 23
Yeah.
seconds on the clock.
And Brian Smith's aggressive too. He knows, guys, let's go get 3 yards and win this game. And I'd be shocked if the ball leaves Parker Navarro's hands. I think you're going to maybe fake the Bangura or let Bangura lead with a +1 type thing. Give yourself an extra blocker in the formation and see if Navarro can pick it up with his feet. A little quarterback power, possibly.
4th and 3 for Ohio. Navarro to the air to Gossett, trying to reach for it, and he's going to be short. 17 seconds showing on the clock.
It's always off by a tick. I thought 18.
As West Virginia gets the
First down, West Virginia.
West Virginia gets the stop. 17 seconds. They have no timeouts.
An aggressive call by Brian Smith. Listen, he's like, we're going to throw it, try to get this first down. Replay's going to look at this because watch the reach at the end by Gossett. But I even think on the reach, he was short. So replay will look because it's just like, think of that, the first down marker. It's at the 22-yard line. Think of it just like the goal line. If the nose of that football breaks, I'm sorry, the 27-yard line, actually, correct? Let me get.
It was the 26.
26.
I think they marked him at the 27.
They marked him. So the ball needs to break the plane of that 26-yard line where the first down marker was. If it does, it's a first down. So think of it just like the goal line.
On the field is upheld. It's first down, West Virginia.
I like it. Nice quick by the replay. It's upheld. No clear and obvious. Short by about a foot or so. So here we go. 17 seconds. Can they do what they haven't done since the first half? Score a touchdown.
And their only touchdown today was a rushing touchdown by Jaheim White, who was injured and carted off the field in the second quarter. Now they've got 17 seconds, no timeouts.
The clock will stop after a first down if they choose to go through the middle of the field.
Markell throwing up top. Lorenz Singleton with the catch and gets out.
And really what you want to do, Court, you want maybe one.
The runner is short of the line of gain. It's second down.
You really want one more of those
On the snap.
or two more. Enough so Markell can reach the end zone on a Hail Mary. You just want to give yourself one shot.
12 seconds on the clock. Cam Vaughn, one of their playmakers, at the top of your screen. Markell instead dumps it to Clay Ash, who gets the first down and steps out of bounds. Now 6 seconds showing on the clock.
And he can't reach the end zone from here. So you're either going to go one more real quick play, leave a tick or two left, and then you go with your lateral play.
Markell in trouble, dropped. Ohio taking down West Virginia. And this Ohio defense has been critical all game.
Fitting that the game ends on a quarterback sack, isn't it? The defending MAC champions, Power 4 slayers once again.
Anas Lukman got in there for Ohio and got after Nico Markell.
This was not a trap game for West Virginia. I know they play Pitt in the backyard brawl next week, but everybody knew how good Ohio was coming into this game. They were prepared. There's a lot of fans here. Ohio just straight up beat them. Offense just couldn't get anything going. And here's the thing too, Court, and it's no disrespect to Robert Morris. That's who West Virginia opened up with. You don't really know how good their offense is until they get going. Let's take a look at the last play of the game. It was going to be a lateral play. They were going to get it out, start lateraling around, just nowhere to go because that defense, Lukman there, and we call out a bunch of different names for Ohio on defense today. Their defensive coordinator, John Hauser, is going to be thrilled with this outcome.
And this Ohio defense stops the ground game. I know that West Virginia lost Jaheim White in the second quarter, but they held West Virginia to just 8 rushing yards in the last 3 quarters of this game.
Yeah. And on the other side, Zach Haley and his West Virginia defense doing what they needed to do in the second half. The offense just could not get anything going today. And kudos to Brian Smith and Ohio. Played a heck of a game today.
Well, AT&T keeps us connected with today's best moments. We got to shout out this Ohio defense.
Well, yeah, fitting that their defensive moments, they get the stop there on 4th down. Pressure on Markiel, gets knocked up in the air. Hollabaugh comes in off the bench with the interception. Just play after play that Bobcats defense made today.
An Ohio team that is trying to carry over momentum from a historic season last year. This is a team that won 11 games. They won the MAC championship. They've won 6 straight bowl games.
Yeah. And I almost think they know that they lost a close game to Rutgers last week by 3. They play the #1 team in the nation next week down the road in Ohio State. Not saying they can't go there and win, but they know this. They knew they could get this one, and they came out and played that way.
Yeah, Brian Smith said after last week at Rutgers, he said in the locker room, the energy was what it should be. We lost by 3 points, but there was no finger pointing. The culture was good. This team saw their potential, and then a week later, they come out and beat West Virginia.
And we talked because the culture is already built here. Brian Smith takes over, the culture keeps going. And, you know, there was rumors that possibly game day was going to go to Morgantown for the backyard brawl next week. I think Ohio might have slayed that as well.
West Virginia had its opportunities. Parker Navarro did throw 3 interceptions today.
Gotta clean that up.
Yeah. Overall, what did you think about him?
Tremendous, because he makes plays with his feet that are off schedule, that defenses you just can't practice for. You can all you want. You know, you can put a spy, you can do this. He just makes a lot of plays.
Well, we got a final in Athens, Ohio, and it goes in favor of the Ohio Bobcats. They take down West Virginia for the first time since